to ask you, what were some of your most memorable matchups? I know you went against Sting, Lex Luger, the Steiner brothers, the Nasty Boys.
Yeah, that's an interesting question because we wrestled so many of those guys so many times. But I remember the one match that really sticks out in my mind. It's the match we had when we went to that first Sturgis motorcycle rally up in was it South Dakota or North Dakota? One of those. Sturgis, South Dakota. I think it's South Dakota. And they had we had a big wrestling match there. It was the first one that we had done in Sturgis, and I remember that. I remember that match. Why I don't know. I guess because it was the most different thing we had ever done before. It was outside with zillion people with motorcycles around the ring and stuff like that, and it was crazy, man. So I remember that. But I've had so many matches in my life. I don't really. I don't know. I don't really think about matches once they're over with,
Okay, okay.
like a lot of people do. I don't know why. But I've had so many matches with the Steiners and with Sting and Lex and with the Nasty Boys and with, oh my God, Hall and Nash and so many of those guys, man. I mean, I can, like I tell people, I can't remember matches because I never brought my job home with me. But if I see a clip of it, then it all comes back to me, if that
Okay,
makes
okay.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Then I can tell you about what's going on. Oh, okay, I remember this. I see. Oh, right. Oh, right. Then things start coming back to you. But other than that, man, I can't. People send me matches now that I don't even remember. I'm like, bro, I don't remember this. I mean, I know I was there
Wow.
because I'm on camera watching it, but I don't remember it. It's funny, man. I'm not one of those guys. I got a very good memory, and people always tease me about my memories. Man, how can you remember things from that many, lyrics from songs or lines from movies and stuff that's 30, 40 years old? I don't know how, but I don't remember my own stuff that I was involved in. That's crazy. I don't know.
Mhm. Right, but I can understand, man. Like you say, you've been doing it for so long, and then y'all going to different cities and so many
Right.
different wrestling arenas and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's funny
okay.
like that. So I don't but you can ask some guys because even on my own podcast, guys can sit up and tell me things day by day, inch by inch, brick by brick, and I'm like, wow, man, I remember that. Oh man, it was in this town, so and so city, Iowa, and blah blah blah, and this that. Man, I don't remember what I did yesterday, and you talking about guys that can remember, everything they went through and who they went through it with, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I just go with them because when people ask me that, you get the answer that I just gave you. I don't know,
Right, I understand, but we was fanatics back then, so we remember them. You know what I'm
man.
saying? When such and such be such and such, we ain't gonna never forget that. You done moved
Right,
on.
right.
Okay, it's all
Yeah.
good. Now, how did y'all get the name Harlem Heat? And was y'all always Harlem Heat, or was y'all
No,
something else before?
no, actually, no, we wasn't. We was actually, um, they wanted to give us the name of Chain Gang. They wanted to change everything about us, and that didn't work out. So they was like, well, you guys got to pick new names, and people started throwing things out and stiff that and the other. They want to call it Chicago Heat, and then I was like, well, now what about Harlem Heat? And that kind of stuck. Yeah, that's just that kind of stuck. So we started rolling with that, and the rest is history. You
Yeah,
know,
that I mean, that sound better. Harlem Heat. You know, when you think
right?
of Harlem, you think of certain things. You know, shout out to Chicago, but HH
Mm-hmm.
Harlem Heat. That sound
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. I don't know what it should call Miami Heat, Chicago Heat.
Yeah.
We're like, what about Harlem Heat? I don't even know where the Heat thing came from. I don't even
Mm.
know where that. I don't even know where that came from. It was like Dusty Rose. Who was in there? It was like Dusty Rose and Ole Anderson and Sid Vicious and just different people throwing out stuff. Where the Heat thing came from, I have no unearthly idea. I just knew the Heat sounded good, but the Chicago and Miami and all that didn't sound good, you know. So, and it was like, so that's how it happened, man. You just throw stuff against the wall until something sticks, man.
I
Yeah.
can dig it. I can dig it.